Hi, welcome to Buzz, Indiana's underground business voice. I'm here with Kevin Frye, Frye International. Frye International, now that sounds like a global distribution company, but that's not what you do. What do you do?
That's right. Mainly we're managed IT services and computer services, but we do have some business partnerships all around,
Okay.
all around the world.
Okay, so managed IT services. I think I know, but explain it to me like I don't, and maybe some people out there don't.
Okay. Yeah, tell you, a lot of people have an IT group or a group of guys or gals in their company that do things like manage their computers, make sure their networks talk to each other, make sure people can print to the right printers and get the right information, and keep things like security and viruses out of their systems.
Sure.
So what I do for companies, especially those that don't have those IT departments, is be that IT department with our team.
So really, like you're that bridge that says, hey, we can't afford $75,000 a year, but we know we need computers to keep our business running. You can come in there and for 1/10 that, 1/5 that, depending on how much they need, really keep them up and running. And then I think the thing that's different about managed IT services is that you can actually help them keep that cost manageable.
Sure, easily. Even with some of the remote things that we can do, a lot of things we can fix without even being on site, although we're available to be a presence in their building and talk with people directly. So.
Which means that you're not only are going to sit down and look at those systems and say, hey, I know this is going to be a problem, even if it's not a problem now.
Right.
And let's make sure we get some of this stuff installed so I can manage it from here and I'm not billing you extra hours for that.
Absolutely. And with the economy the way it's been, I've come in and taken over some places where maybe there was a person in that position, but they can't afford that extravagant rate, or maybe that the employee with the insurance.
Sure.
And so we're looking at not only what was there before, but let's look at preventative, because I know a year or two from now this is going to hit. Let's see what we can manage now to make it a little more effective and more
So
operational.
really technology is a necessary evil. And we all need it to run our business. I mean, when it goes down, it can be kneecapping for a small business. You help people prevent that and keep that expense as low as possible so they can run their business.
Right.
Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Now, how'd you get into this?
I had computers since I was 11 years old. My dad was in communications in the military, and so we had computers around, and I just picked it up.
Okay, so you just self-taught.
Yeah.
When did you start your business?
I started officially in 1991.
Okay.
In 1998, went full time, and people started calling me the computer whisperer. So, because I can make them do things a lot of people don't know how to do.
Okay.
And so I really went full time, self-employed since 1998, and helping a lot of different companies.
Which in your industry is forever.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, 10 years. I mean, that's forever. And
it's a lot of change in 10 years.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. You had to do Y2K alone. I mean, right? I mean, that was crazy.
Sure.
So during that time, you've started to build your business in a relationship-driven way. What are the type of businesses that are referring you more clients?
Right. I have a lot of small engineering firms, attorneys, doctors that, again, they don't need somebody every day, even every week or month sometimes, but they need somebody there that they can be comfortable with.
Attorneys, doctors, and what was the other one?
Actually,
engineers?
Engineering firms, small engineering firms, because they usually have a department. They just have 3 or 4 guys that are drafting or doing CAD or those things, or even nursing homes. They have some nursing homes and churches. So.
But one of the things I think is common that you've attracted in those businesses is they have a high dollar per hour value. I mean, an engineer's time is worth a lot of money.
Right.
So they need uptime all the time.
Exactly. If a computer network, for example, I have one in Evendale, and if their computer network goes down, then 5 or 6 people at billing at $100 to $200 an hour means a lot of money for that owner. He's sitting there just wringing his hands hoping that somebody can get it fixed. So I'll be there as fast as we can get there.
So really, that's kind of that IP intensive, intellectual property intensive businesses tend to be your target, right?
Right. That as well as security and securing things, like we do some work that people do patent drawings.
Oh wow.
And things that are confidential for GE and some new airplanes and things like that.
So you've really attracted your own little vertical there. Okay. So really, anybody that's selling to engineers, that is selling to the doctors, the lawyers, I'm missing one that you said earlier too.
Nursing homes.
Nursing homes. Okay. There's a lot of common threads there that you're looking for to also network anybody else that sells to that target, right?
Absolutely.
Because a relationship there could be a good long-term relationship.
Even home automation companies and things that build these huge, expansive, touch screens and home automation, any of those, they don't do the computer part of it.
Yeah.
So they need that done too, because that's a huge component.
So staff augment, as well as you're having what feels like a full-time staffer that's on site. without actually paying for it. That's your value proposition.
Value, absolutely, and it's also a way to contact with people that have training needs and those kind of things, because we're going to take them from step one to, when do we implement this technology or software, but then how are we going to train them, and who do we train first? So it's even more of a consultative nature.
There's really 3 relationships that I always tell my clients you gotta have, and it has to be strategic. One is your lawyer, the other is your accountant, and the other is your tech. Because technology is so important to know how to utilize it in a small business and to not make mistakes in that space. So, and it's just good that we have somebody here at Dayton's to start to be able to put in that in our power circle there.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. And that's like a CPA. I learned that it was costing me money not to have one.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Your IT guy is the same way. If
Amen.
you don't have one or you don't think you need one, you will.
Frye International, how do they reach you?
866-480-5846. It's toll free.
Okay.
It's an automated attendant, so if I'm not there, she'll give me a message and I'll get right back to him. So
You've been buzzed. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.